Okay, I'm gonna catch up now where I'm at. I'm on the exterior of the portfolio now. This is the image holder that I'm making, an image portfolio. I'm attaching the side piece that I want to fold inward by using this strip of felt, and I'm going to put it with a gap. I want to say a 1/4 inch. Yeah, 1/4 inch gap. That's the perfect size right there. Using this 1 and a sheet note, please. 1 1/4 inch wide strip of felt that I previously cut. Now I'm going to hold it down with one arm. I'm going to glue it down on one side, and then I'll come and do the other side. That's moving around on me. Okay. Now I happen to be able to see pink through the felt, the pink mat underneath. But I'm going to lift it up and show y'all my 1/4 inch here. Now I want to hold that steady with, I happen to be right-handed, so I'm going to hold it with my left hand, and I'm going to start putting a little bit of glue on that bottom edge of the felt that's going to this piece to the right so that it will stay where it needs to be. And then I'm going to just work my way up the felt, gluing it on, and it's doing fine now. Now y'all know I'm not leaving this thing looking like this with a ugly old piece of white felt on the front, right? I'm just going to adhere this felt all the way across so it'll be flat. I need to do a little bit on this side too. Now I already did the other side, so if you're trying to do this too, just remember there are 2 of them. We're going to do one on each side. So I've just done the second side. Now, see if I can get it all on screen. This is my bottom edge. Oops, sorry, I know that's going to go out of focus. See if I can show it to you on camera here. Here's the portfolio, the base to the portfolio. These 2 pages on the sides are going to each fold inward, and then the whole thing will fold in half to make the portfolio. Okay, and it'll just open up like that. That's the base of it. Now, see an edge here I need to get down real quick. Now comes the part that I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do. I've thought about it in a number of ways. So I'm going to open it back up, and now I'm going to look. In fact, I'm going to probably fold these pieces backwards so we can work on a smaller area, and you can see my thought process as we do this. The inside of the portfolio is going to house all of these images that we are trying to keep from getting torn up. By the way, this is just a piece of freezer paper cut 8.5 by 11, and this is how I do my images. I iron muslin, bleached muslin, onto the shiny side of the freezer paper, the whole piece, 8.5 by 11. cut it out in the right size for my printer. And this is what I print on. And it's relatively inexpensive to do it this way for this setup, for the muslin, and here's an actual one, the muslin and the paper. What costs the most is the ink. So keep that in mind. And because it does cost, I'm wanting to keep them safe. So here's the next part. I'm showing you how slidey this is, because this is where I had the next problem, the next issue. With it being so slidey and slick, slidey, sorry y'all. You would think I had children, little children in the house. I don't. I needed a way to keep this from sliding around and to keep the images from like sliding and crumpling, right? So the next idea involves felt. Because I have a wing or a page over here that's going to come around and cover it, I wanted to keep it safer than that, because we know that's all just going to slide out the bottom. And I wanted to put a piece of felt in here, almost as if it were a pocket, but not. A pocket means it's going to, you know, adhered up and all, but we can't access the image very easily if it's all the way around. Okay? What I want to do though is to make it where we can put our images inside of a safety spot, a safe place, and yet access it maybe by not adhering it all the way. How about just part way? Maybe all the way across the bottom and only part way across the side. Leave it so that it will go all the way up, and I'll need to cut a little bit off at the top, you see, but that I can pull this and access the photos. Put them back in, roll that up basically, and close it and keep it safe. So that's the next step I'm going to do. Let me get all these out of the way. And then I'm going to do the similar thing on this side with these two sizes of photos. So I'm going to actually just set these out of the way. Keep them divided. Now, I don't need all of this, but as close to the bottom and to the side as I can. That means I can cut off probably about this much. And I'll measure this and tell you about how big that is. Yeah, there's the center of my book where I want it to be able to fold over. So I've cut my felt on this one at 8 1/4 by almost 12 1/4, like 12 1/8. So I don't know, I should have looked a little closer. It could be a little bit longer. I want to use my straightest edge. I don't cut straight, and that's just my problem. So see, I don't cut very straight, but I'm going to glue it straighter, I hope, so that I can use it better. I don't know, maybe that should be the 2 straighter edges. Yeah. I'll do it that way. So now my thought is to do the bottom. So take that, put it across the bottom. And I sure do hope y'all can see. I have tried really hard to get this in frame. And then I'm going to take it up the side. I don't know, would halfway be too far? No, I can reach in there, so that means I can access it. So I'm going to take it up about halfway. And glue up only about halfway from the bottom on this side. Some of you I've noticed cut, which I've done too, cut your images out with the freezer paper stuck on. Now I've done that too, but real quick I've learned these are not fun to cut out. These sheets are not fun to cut out. They're kind of hard to do and get them straight. You know what I mean? Because obviously I can't cut straight. But I reuse these. They have enough of the waxy substance on it that I can't remember. I was trying to think, how many times have I reused these until they quit sticking? I don't know. I keep on reusing them. So after I do a print on a sheet, I take all the photos off in one piece, and then I cut the photos out of just the fabric, and then I can reuse that piece. But obviously I didn't do that on some of these, so live and learn. And live and learn that unbleached muslin does not give you the best and prettiest image either. So just saying. Okay, now I can lift that up, gently put these images in, and yes, you do have to watch this corner. And I may have to take off some of that selvage there so that it will not bend into the middle. But felt has a, I don't know, it's holding these in there. Those are not going to just start sliding out. It's really holding those in there. And I can see and feel that bottom left hand corner down here, it's straight. So I'm going to leave it like that so that when I fold this over, it will protect that whole side. And yes, I do definitely need to cut the selvage off. But just so you can see, when it's folded in, it will keep everything safe along the bottom, the side, the inside, and just don't turn it upside down because I did not adhere anything up at the top. So that's going to be the left side pictures. I'm going to pull those out. Now on the right side, I want to make 2 felt pockets, and I intended to bring felt. Oops, I may have to go cut some more. I see some, but it may not be enough. I want to make folders enough that I can get these images. Some are thicker than others because I have felt on a few of these already. But I want to be able to have the same idea. A flap of felt coming up to cover it, but not so far that I can't access it. Let me see if this is big enough. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. So I'm going to want that down pretty far in that corner so I can even it out there. There's the center, so I want it just this side of center. So that'll put it right there. And I want it to cover it up to here. So I'm going to cut that out. And I'm going to do it off camera real quick. and just try to cut straight. We shall see. Let's see how I did. Hey, not too bad, huh? Okay. Same idea. I'm only going to come up part of the way on the side and then all the way across the bottom. Let me see if it's too far over. I think I am going to take just a little bit off of this side here. Now let me tell you what this measurement is. And I may not actually double up the photos quite like that. But I do want them in there to stay straight, so. See if that's about right. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be just right on that side. So, will the little ruler please stand up? Nope, too small. Okay, this one is 8.5-ish, maybe like a 32nd less than 8.5 by 6.5. And I didn't write down that one either, so I'll watch it again and then I'll write those down. So this piece of felt is ready to get put in, but I'm not going to do it with my images in here. Right about to there. So I'm going to do the bottom first and then hope that I don't forget and go too far up the side. I only want to go about halfway up that side. To about here. And then again, I'll have this little flap to protect this little group of photos. And yet I can access them easily and get a finger down into that corner to make sure everything's straight. Because that's the whole reason I'm making it, to keep everything safe and straight. Push that down in there. So that'll make a nice little protecting pocket thing. Don't even know what to call it, to hold that. So I'm going to do the same thing up here. I definitely want to divide these in half because I'll be able to do many more that way. And brilliant idea. Let's measure, and I'm going to want it to be 8.5 this way, and 5.5 goes to there. Let's do 5.5 up and down. I'm actually going to close this up and get it out of my way for a minute, and then 8.5 and 5.5. There was my 8.5. Actually, this is 8.5 right here. I'll have to cut a little extra off. Then 5.5 up. And it's right about there. Y'all get to see me make mistakes, because that's how I work. 8.5 is just going to come in right there. The other piece was a little off, so this will do it. if I'm close. 8.5. I think I'm a little off. This looks odd. 5.5. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to eyeball it, and it's going to be what it is. That looks halfway decent. Okay. Bringing it back over, and I got to figure out where I'm at. Well, not too bad. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to take the photos out. Let's see, in between, about a 1/2 inch maybe in between. I'm going to do the same thing up here that I did down for the 5x7 or whatever those are, 3x5 size. I don't even know what they are. But same idea. I'm only going to adhere on the bottom. Get that straight. My glue gun wants to hang on to the bottom one. And do you see what I see? I see a whole lot of places to make it pretty if I want to. Now, this is just a, and then halfway up on the side, this is just to keep photographs, images safe. You don't have to do anything to it, of course, but why would we do that? What's the fun? I had this piece that I saw earlier. No, it was this one. I was like, oh, that's pretty. That'll be pretty on this color here. So, I don't know. Because it's for me, I sometimes think, oh, no, I don't need to waste any lace on stuff like that. But I think I will this time because I think I'm going to have fun with this. So, I'm putting all of my images. These are just the ones sitting around my room in like a dozen different places. Because as I get done with one project, I'll stick them somewhere, and another project, I'll stick the leftovers somewhere. And this side, put some of these over to the right. They're straight and flat. Some on the left. And then these big boys, I was going to cut the selvage off real quick. Get my good scissors out. I try really hard when I'm doing the images to keep the best scissors for those. Sometimes when I do a print of images, I end up with a few images on a whole page that turn out good and the rest have problems. Either my paper folds over or something like that. I think I have figured that part out though, and so I don't have that problem as often as I used to. And I'll take off some of that excess. And then I'm going to do the same over here but with different scissors because this does have that paper underneath it. And I don't want my good scissors to cut paper. Now, that's just going to be trash anyway. I had no need to keep that. I am going to put the paper image, still the paper backed image, underneath this one just to help kind of stabilize it a little bit while I get it in here. Gently pushing that into the corner to keep it safe. Put the felt on top and presto changeo, I now have and as you can see, those photos, those images did not fall out. The felt is holding it. So I'm going to fold that over. I'm going to fold this over, and then I'm going to fold it in half, and that is the image book. Yay! I'm so excited. I've had this in my brain for a long time, needing to do something to keep my images safe. So the image portfolio,